you want to go now?
Put this chair across your face. Don't disrespect
No, you can't intimidate me.
Don't disrespect
You can't
me.
intimidate me.
Don't disrespect
You can't intimidate me. Who do you think you are?
Daniel, don't disrespect me. You can't put this chair across your face. Don't disrespect me. Hear me? Nah, don't disrespect me on my life, boy.
Anthony Joshua is set to face Daniel Dubois on September the 21st, and the IBF Heavyweight Championship is on the line. Now, these two big boys just had a face-off. They sat down at the table, and things got heated, and we are going to react to it, see what both gentlemen are saying, what arguments they're both putting forth. Now, I will just say, I've got to put this disclaimer in there, I'm not like a boxing expert or anything. I've always been into MMA more than I have been boxing. But recently, I've been watching a lot more boxing. Now, mainly just the big fights, but I'm starting to enjoy it a little bit more. And I enjoy covering it. So I need to tell you, I'm judging this from the perspective of being a relatively new fan to boxing from a beginner level. And I'm only just getting used to the fact that there's the IBF, there's the WBA, WBC, WBO. Alexander Usyk is the champion of the WA, WBC, and the WBO. And I think after the last Fury fight, he was stripped of the IBF title. So then Daniel Dubois and Filip Hrgović fought for the vacant IBF title in July, and Daniel won that fight. And it was a good back and forth fight. I'll play some of it here. I've got to be careful with copyright. Filip Hrgović in the first few rounds was landing a lot of clean shots, but then later on in the fight, Daniel Dubois started really coming on strong, started putting a lot of pressure on Filip, landed some really nice left hooks, as you could see there, and then the fight was actually stopped by the referee. So referee stoppage due to the cut, or doctor stoppage. So the only fights I've seen up to now of Daniel's are the Filip Hrgović fight, the Jarrell Miller fight, and the Alexander Usyk fight. Now, he lost against Alexander Usyk. However, he did drop Usyk with a body shot, and some say that Dubois was Usyk's hardest test to date. So this doesn't really feel like a layup for Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua's coming off a 4-fight win streak. His last fight was against Francis Ngannou, and then before that it was Otto Wallen, then Robert Helenius, then Jermaine Franklin, and the last time he lost was in 2022 in the Alexander Usyk rematch. So Joshua is on a roll right now. Joshua's got 25 KOs, Dubois has got 20 KOs. So I think this is going to be a really good fight. I can't see this going to decision. And also, if you like fight content, then make sure you subscribe for daily uploads. We cover MMA, boxing, fighting stuff in general, all the influencer stuff, street fights, sparring, the whole works on this channel. Right, guys, so I'm going to have to chop this up a little bit just for copyright purposes. And I'll just say my disclaimer. In this video, I have significantly edited the original work. So watching my video is not a replacement for watching the original video. I'll leave the link to the original video I'm reacting to here in the description. All credit goes to DAZN, but this is transformative work and falls under fair use.
We've always said, this is the man to beat this man. Why?
I think he's the young guy. I think he's matured, and over the last few years, he's had some great experience, and it's all gelling for him. He's had 2 really good performances in these last 2 fights. I just feel that youth will come through.
Why Daniel Dubois?
The belt. You got a guy here that's only ever chased legacy, only ever chased performance from himself, achievement, and the belt's everything. It's the worst time to fight Anthony Joshua, I think, of his whole career. He has the skill, he has the experience. This guy's on another level right now, and this is just part of the destiny and the plan ahead.
Couldn't agree more with Eddie Hearn there. Fighting Joshua right now was probably the worst time to fight him. I do believe he is in his prime. He's rising high on confidence. His power is looking more devastating than ever. We'll do some breakdown videos of Joshua on the pads over the next couple of weeks before this fight happens. The man is looking seriously powerful. To be able to knock out Francis Ngannou like how he did is ridiculous. Francis is used to taking punches with 4-ounce gloves, and Francis has got a really good chin. Never really being rocked in his entire career, and Joshua folded him, like literally folded Francis Ngannou, and I don't think that's something people should look past. I believe we're going into this fight and we're going to see the best version of Joshua.
Does it matter that there is the IBF heavyweight title on the line, or does it matter just get those wins, get those wins?
Get the wins, get the wins, get the wins.
3-time doesn't inspire you?
Oh yeah, silently it does. I don't focus on the belt, just him.
Joshua seems focused. However, this whole thing of I'm not focused on the belt, I'm focused on him, I never really know how to analyse it, because sometimes we hear people say that, oh, I'm not focused on the belt, I'm focused on him, and then they win. But then sometimes they say that and they lose, and then vice versa. It just completely depends. I don't think you can put much weight into, oh, are they focusing on the opponent or are they focusing on the belt? It's just all about a balance, really.
Some have questioned some things about you, right? Your resilience. People have said he quits, things I completely disagree with. You've showed people now in your last 2 fights
You seen Daniel physically aggravated there when the interviewer mentioned his resilience.
You've showed people now in your last 2 fights, you are coming into your best, right?
Of course, you know, I was speaking about before, I was in a dark place and I was going through some stuff, but I feel like I've been resurrected now. And
That thing is lurking behind the scenes where people say, if the going gets tough, Daniel Dubois won't get going.
The first 2 rounds of Hrgovic, how many right-handers did he catch with?
He's a bit aggravated there because the interviewer's saying stuff that he doesn't like. The interviewer said when the going gets tough, Daniel Dubois is going to quit. And you're seeing him look at Frank Warren and be a bit like, oh, is he actually saying this? He's frustrated, he's angry, which definitely means he's going to come out here with a chip on his shoulder and something to prove. If people are questioning Daniel's resilience, this kind of reminds me of the whole Charles Oliveira thing, where Charles Oliveira shown signs of quitting in previous fights from years ago, and people still tied that mindset to Charles. But Charles Oliveira had completely changed. He was no longer a quitter. He was a killer, and he started destroying all of his opponents, maybe because some of his opponents were underestimating him, like Justin Gaethje. I don't mean to go on about MMA, it's just the only thing I really know to tie it to and draw analogies to. So hopefully AJ isn't going to underestimate Daniel and think that he's a quitter. I don't think that's the case, though.
He's only, you're 26 now.
Yeah.
26 years of age, that's a baby for everyone.
These 26-year-olds look like they're about 40.
How old are you now, AJ? What, you're 30?
24.
Stone.
34.
34. So, you know, there's 8 years difference in their ages. He's a young man compared with AJ, but he is hungry. The only thing about it is in his head. And his last 2 fights, he's shown what he's got. He's had to dig deep, and he has dug deep.
So it seems like Frank Warren is somewhat making this about age. He's saying Daniel Dubois, 25, Joshua, 34. Frank's saying that Daniel is young and hungry. However, fighters come into the prime in the 30s, mid-30s is like the end of the prime, really, because that's where your peak physicality meets your experience level. Joshua is vastly experienced against higher level competition, as well as now being completely comfortable in his physicality, and we're starting to see that in the power that he's punching with. So I understand Frank's argument, you know, the young, hungry lion is on the come-up and he's going to take out the old man. Joshua's not old. He's 34. He's in the prime of his life.
I think the big heavyweights get into their prime in their early 30s. I mean, he's in his absolute prime. Best he's ever been, unquestionably. I think Daniel can maybe get better. Maybe he's reached his ceiling. But when you get out there in front of 100,000, I mean, Frank talked about the right hands he took. If he took one of them, there's a real problem. And he took 30 of them. And he showed great chin and great heart, but not against
could AJ take them shots?
I think so. I mean, Hrgovic took them fine. So, you know, you never really hurt Hrgovic. He got bad cuts, but he showed a great chin.
He was on the way out.
Yeah, no, he was, but he also took the kitchen sink off you. Yeah. You took the kitchen sink off him. You don't even have to take the kitchen sink off him. You just have to take a little, you know, cocktail spoon.
All right, I'm not fighting you, Eddie. So,
Well, thank God for that.
Yeah.
Okay, they're joking around a little bit now, but Eddie Hearn's got a point there. Daniel Dubois had a little bit of a back and forth war with Filip Hrgovic and took a lot of hard shots off Filip Hrgovic. Now, granted, Daniel's shown that he's got a really great chin, but if he was to take that many shots off Anthony Joshua, well, put it this way, he wouldn't be able to take that many shots off Anthony Joshua. He would have been KO'd halfway through the fight. Daniel Dubois also thrown a lot of shots at Hrgovic, and okay, he was on the way out, as Frank Warren said, but he wasn't like completely out of it. The fight got stopped because he was bloodied up. So I get the arguments that Daniel and Frank Warren are trying to make, but AJ is a different animal. AJ throws with a lot more power than Filip Hrgovic, is a lot more accurate, straight down the pipe punches, and I do believe AJ's chin has been restored. It was questionable back in the day. Well, some people used to question it from what I remember, but in recent times, he hasn't took that many shots. His boxing defense has been pretty decent. It's been sound. So I believe Joshua's chin will be able to hold up in this fight. And I think it's going to be Daniel's chin who gets tested.
He will see September 21st.
You ready? No, you will see.
I'm asking you.
You will see.
You ready?
I'm ready.
That's it.
You can feel that tension. There's a lot of tension in the air.
Yeah. Have you guys shared a ring before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loads of time.
Yeah?
Yeah. I know. Daniel apparently took my lights out.
I'm not here to spar, I'm here to fight him. So let's talk about the fight.
Seemed like Joshua knew something that we didn't there. He was just smiling with that quiet confidence. And that's something that you notice going into the end of this interview when things start getting a bit more heated. Joshua's got that quiet killer confidence about him. And we picked up on that in the Francis Ngannou face-off. Francis Ngannou come across a little bit more nervous, but AJ was just a stone-cold killer. And I think that's what we're seeing here as well.
From both of you have got new traders.
When I changed trainers, I remember hearing you saying that a trainer can't make a fighter. All he needs to do is be motivated himself and so on and so forth. You're one of the people that would disrespect me. And now we're here talking about the benefits of trainers.
Right, I love that. Anthony Joshua was holding them accountable, saying, when I switched trainer, you guys were saying, oh, there must be something wrong. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's on the down fall. He's trying to find answers outside of himself. Yet now that he changes trainer, oh yeah, you know, here's all the benefits of swapping trainers and this and that. So it's a little bit hypocritical. I think the whole changing a trainer thing is completely subjective and entirely depends on the individual and their circumstances.
3 trainers, really, isn't he?
Sorry?
He's got 3 trainers. He's got
One
Dom,
guy-
he's got Kieran, he's got his old man. Thing is, actually, when you're saying about you got to motivate yourself, that's actually wrong in Daniel's regard. You know that.
No.
Because it's his corner that have been motivating him to get through fights.
I don't agree with that.
His dad's been helping him get through fights.
Obviously,
Of course,
he's
but he
involved.
needs to motivate.
That's what we arguing about. I just want to fight. I ain't got nothing to say.
That's it. Daniel's trying to divert the attention because he knew Eddie Hearn was onto something there. Daniel Dubois' mentality has been questioned in the past, according to Eddie Hearn. Now Eddie's bringing up a valid point of, listen, you've got so many people in your corner and you need your dad there to motivate you. You haven't got the motivation within yourself. You need to get it externally from someone else. Kind of like Leon Edwards. Once again, another MMA analogy. But guys, this is how I learn, okay? And maybe there's some of you guys out there who are only into MMA and who are trying to get into boxing a bit more like me. So drawing these analogies helps us learn. So basically, the question here, is Daniel a quitter? Will he break in this fight before he gets KO'd? Interesting. Right, now here's where it gets heated. The climax.
Aside from belts and aside from it being him, I'm just ready to fight.
Let's go. Let's go.
But let's wait till the 21st.
If he wants to swing, go. Let's go now.
Sharp, relax. Relax.
Dubois started that then. He said, let's go. If he wants to go now, we can do it. Swing away.
If you want to go now, let's go.
Relax.
If you want to go
Put
now.
this chair across your face. Don't disrespect
No, you
me.
can't intimidate
Don't
me.
disrespect
You can't
me.
intimidate me.
Don't disrespect
You can't intimidate me.
Daniel, don't
Who do you
disrespect
think you
me.
are?
Daniel, don't disrespect me. You can't put this chair across your face. Don't disrespect me. Hear me? Nah, don't disrespect me on my life, bro. You want this little boy, now don't disrespect me, bro. I know who the this guy thinks he's talking to.
No.
He said, warn this little boy. Who does he think he's talking to? Joshua's looking like a calm killer, ready to commit murder.
On this little boy, now don't disrespect me, bro. I know who the this guy thinks he's talking to.
No.
It's good.
I don't take disrespect lightly, Dan. Dan, I don't take disrespect lightly, you know. Don't sit on the table telling me we can go now and do all of this and that and try to call me out. Relax. We've had a good face-off here. We've had a good conversation. Don't turn it into something that you don't want.
Oh, damn. This is like a father talking to his naughty child. Joshua is absolutely chastising Daniel Dubois right now. Just his whole demeanour. Very, very calm. It was Daniel who was standing up going, no, let me at him. No, I'm not having that. Joshua was like, sit down, relax. I don't take disrespect lightly. Nah, don't let this little kid speak to me like that. I'll put this chair across your effing face. See, I love that calm, stoic nature of a fighter. It makes them so much more scary than the guy who's flinging chairs everywhere, trying to hold me back. It's the calm ones you've got to be careful of.
Talking.
Well, yeah, we cut it, guys, in our retro.
And these coming off now, these
Joshua just got a mild little sweat on there. Wow, okay, so things got really heated there. I think this is going to make for a good fight. Just that little bit of animosity building up towards the end. Little bit of beef. It makes the storyline that much more interesting. Early thoughts, guys. What are you thinking about this fight, this matchup? Can Daniel Dubois defend his belt successfully against AJ? Or can AJ reclaim the belt? Comment your thoughts down below. Like this video, subscribe for daily uploads. See you tomorrow.